Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So in this video we're going to be looking at paper 3 from the ICT IGCSE course. We are doing a May-June 2021 paper, variant 31. So paper 3 includes data analysis, which is spreadsheets, and website authoring, so HTML and CSS. We are going to be focusing on the HTML part of this paper. So paper 3 normally is a 2 hour and 30-minute long paper, but I don't think it should take you that long to complete this particular paper, if I'm being honest. Okay, so let's go down to the first part. Okay, so we need to check to see if we have received these files. Okay, so in total there's 13 files, and we have different types of files. We have PNG, CSS files, JPEGs, HTML, CSV files, text files. So let's have a quick look. Yep, it looks like we have the same files here as well. Okay, so for task 1, what we need to do is we need to set up the evidence document. So we need to create a new word process document. You need to make sure your name, center number and candidate number will appear on every page of this document, so we can include this in the header. Okay, and this needs to be saved into your save this evidence document into your work area as J2131 evidence underscore followed by your center number, so we can use 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously in the exams, guys, you would use your own details, and then the candidate number, so I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this name in my source folder. I'll create a new file, Microsoft Word document. I'll enter the name, and then here we can insert my center number, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously I am making up this information. You would need to enter your correct details at this point. So here's the evidence document. Let's open up the evidence document, and what we need to do is we need to insert your candidate details on every page. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and we just put that like that, I'm going to insert a header, and every time I insert a header I always go with the option which gives me 3 columns. So here's my name, the center number, we can use 5, 6, 7, 8, and the candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4. Close, save. So obviously now, since we have this in a header, this will appear on every page. Okay, so you will need this evidence document during the examination to place screenshots when required. Okay, that's fine, no problem. We can go back to that at any point. Okay, task 2, file management. You're going to create a web page and style sheet for Bali Holiday Homes. The web page and style sheet must work in any browser. All color codes except those provided in the source files must be in hexadecimal. Make sure that your style sheet contains no HTML. Make your HTML and style sheet as efficient as possible. So probably we'll have to come back to this point. Let me just make it into a different color. Okay, so before we can get started, we need to create a new folder called BHH. So let's make a new folder, BHH, and what we need to do is we need to locate the following files and store them into your BHH folder. Okay, I'm going to change my color back to yellow. Okay, there we go. So we've created a folder, and I'm going to just move a couple of files at a time. So this looks like a background PNG picture and a bhh.css. Yep, so let's just highlight these two and move these two into the folder first. And then what we'll do is we'll move the JPEGs. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 JPEG pictures. We'll move them into this folder as well, and we'll move the HTML file. Okay, so let me just find the HTML file, that one there. jungle, and logo JPEGs. And there's a text file as well. Yeah, so we can move them all into here, and what is left is the Excel files for the Excel part of this spreadsheet, and obviously the evidence document. Okay, so it's probably best if we change this into details. Done. Let me just highlight that I've done that. Okay, so what we need to do now is display the contents of your BHH folder showing a folder name, all file names, file extensions, image dimensions, and file sizes. So I may need to add a few things. So if I right click here at the top, we can add dimensions, so pretty much the size of the pictures. I don't need tags, so let's get rid of this one here. So what do we need? We got the image dimensions, file size is here. The folder name, file names, and file extensions. Yeah, you can see the extensions .bng, .css. Folder name, folder locations, all here. So what we need to do for evidence 1 is take a screenshot of your BHH folder and place this into your evidence document. Make sure that the folder name, all file names, file extensions, image dimensions, and file sizes are clearly visible. Okay, so let me I'm going to use the snipping tool for this part. I'm going to show the folder here at the top. This is a folder, or the location of the folder. This is the name of the folder here. Here you can see all of the file names with the extensions, the type, the size, and the dimensions. And I'm going to copy this into my evidence document. Okay, so this is evidence 1. And if you want, you can just make these headings a little bit bolder or bigger. I'm just going to copy this, obviously, for when we take the next evidence. Okay, so that's the first part done. Great, fantastic. So now task 3 is the web page. Okay, so we need to create the web page. The software which I'm going to be using for this task is Microsoft Web Expression. Okay, Microsoft Expression Web 4. So when you open up this application, you'll see this blank HTML page. So what I'm going to do first of all is to close this down. Okay, and what do we need to do? We need to create in your BHH folder a web page called BHH. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File, New. I'm going to select HTML, and I'm going to save this before I do anything. So when you save in, make sure you go into the same folder, paper 3, S31. Here's the folder, and include the name BHH. Save. Okay, so we can see the file name is here. Okay, so what we have in Web Expression or Expression Web is the HTML code. We can split the code and show the design view as well, or we can show the design view like this, so we can switch between different views at different points. So this is the code for the HTML. Okay, right, so we've done that now. Okay, and what we need to do first of all is we need to create a web page. Okay, this web page must be created using a single table and must work in all browsers. The table must fit 80% of the browser window. Okay, so this is how wide the table is going to be. So it has to be 80% of the browser window. So let me show you what that means before we actually get started. So if I just create a table, and in percent, if you just type in 80%, it doesn't matter how many rows and columns we have for now. If I just press OK, okay, we have the table here. I'm just going to right click on this table, go to table properties, and I'm just going to put a colour in now just to show you guys for the borders, okay, and the background. This is not how you would normally do it, but I want to show you how this is going to look in the window. So if I go to File, Preview in the browser, so let's go to Chrome. Hope this loads up. You can see this table is 80% of the window, okay. If I make the window a bit smaller, oops, the table is always going to be 80% of the window size, you know, so if you increase it or decrease it, the table is always going to be changing size according to the size of the browser window. Okay, I'm going to delete this now. Let's get rid of all of it. Just highlight it, press your delete button. Okay, let me just check the code. There's nothing in the code. That's fine. Okay, so the table must have the structure as shown in this. Okay, so the first thing we need to identify now is how many columns and rows we have in this table. So let's count the rows first. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, some cells are going to be merged across or down. Okay, so to create the table, you click on Table, Insert Table. We have 4 rows, 5 columns, and we've already identified the table needs to fit 80% of the browser window, so we can put here now in percent 80 and done. Okay, so yeah, we got 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we got 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to merge the cells and then to put these sizes in. Okay, so you can see the sizes are in percentage rather than pixels. So the top row needs to be merged. Let me double check. Actually, before we carry on, let's have a look at the code first of all. So we have a table, it's 80% wide, okay, so it's not specific pixels, and then we have TR refers to the table row, so you can see the tag opens up like this and then closes with the backward slash, and then we have TD, okay, so this refers to, in each row we have 5 columns or 5 cells basically, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I split the view, it might be easier to see. So if I highlight this, or if I just highlight like this, yeah, so it's basically referring to these cells here. So this would be the first cell, this is the second cell, the third cell, fourth and fifth cell. If you want, let me just type something in to show you. So 1, it's not necessary for you guys to do this, but 2, and you can see obviously the data is going into the cells, but let's just undo that. So if we go back to the code, so this is the first row of the table, this is the second row of the table, the third row and the fourth row. The table tag opens up here and then it closes here with the backward slash. So anytime you open and close a tag, or to close a tag, you need to have the backward slash. Okay, right, let's go back. Got a bit sidetracked. So let's start merging the cells. Okay, so the top row is going to be merged across. So we can highlight the cells, we can go to modify, and we can click on merge cells. So this now becomes one cell. So if you go back to the code, so you can see this row contains one cell which spans 5 columns. Okay, so this is 1 cell which spans across 5 columns. Okay, so in between this space is where we can insert the content for this particular cell. Okay, so let's go back, and we need to merge these cells down. Okay, so in the last final column we need to merge it down across the different rows. So let's go back to expression. These cells need to be merged, modify, merge, and then if I click on the code again, you can see this cell here is going to be spanning across 3 rows, and you'll notice one of these cells have come out now. There were 5 before, but now they've gone down to 4 because it's part of this cell now. Okay, and we have to go to the bottom row and merge across 3 columns here. So modify, merge. So again, if I go to the code, it should say it spans 3 columns. Okay, so if we go back to here, we have another cell which is here, and then obviously this one has been merged with the one above, okay, from the second row. Right, so here's the table so far. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put in, so each table cell is identified with a letter. Some dimensions are shown. These must be set as percentage values and not in pixels. The cell contents shown in the diagram must not appear in your final web page. Table borders must not appear in the final web page. So this is probably something we may do in the CSS later. Okay, so not a problem. Let's put in the percentage sizes. We'll start off with the first one. So the height is going to be 20%. So we can click in this cell, we can right click, go to cell properties, and height in percent is going to be 20. Click on apply. Done. Doesn't look like anything's changed here, but if you go to code, you can see something has happened, and this will change later on probably. Okay, so this is what we need to be looking for. Has the code changed at this point? Okay, so these cells here all look like it's equal sizes, guys, if you can see. So 20 by 20%. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight them all in one go. Okay, so if I highlight all of these cells here, right click, modify, cell properties. Let's be specific, in percentage, 20%, 20%. Okay, so the height, they are 20% wide, and the height is 20% as well. And apply. Done. Let's just check the code really quickly. Yep, you can see the information has been included. Okay. Remember, it's the HTML code that's going to be marked, and this is what's going to be looked at when your work is marked. Okay, so have you merged the cells properly? Did it span across columns, or did it span across rows? Have you inserted the height, the size, dimensions of each cell? So this is what's going to be marked. Okay, so we've done that one. This one here is going to be 20% wide, but height we can say is going to be 20, 40, 60%. So actually, let me do this one here at the bottom. I haven't done this one yet. It should be the same as the one above. So right click, cell properties, in percent, 20%, 20%, apply. Done. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put 20% for how wide the cell is and then 60% for the height, because it's basically equals 3 of these boxes here. So right click, cell properties, 20% wide, height 60. Okay, and here guys is going to be height should be 40%, and it should be 60% wide if you look at the dimensions above. Okay, so let me click on cell properties. So in percent, height is 40%, and this cell is 60% wide if you look at the measurements above. 20%, 20%, 20%. Apply. Okay, let's look at the code, and yes, fantastic. We can see we have all of the dimensions in the HTML. Let me save the changes, and that part is now done. Okay, let's have a look at question 3 now. So we need to set the title of the web page to Bali Holiday Homes homepage. So we can copy this, and if I go to expression, there's 2 ways of doing this. We could insert a title in between these tags here, or I can go to design, right click my mouse, go to page properties, and we can enter the title here. Okay, so that's done. Question 4, set the name of the default target window to _self. So we come to default target frame, select same frame. So what this will do is basically any links will open up on itself, not on a new tab or new window. Done. And if you go to the code for that is here within the header tags. Okay, done. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is place in cells A, B, C, D, E, and F are some pictures. So where are these cells? So A is the first cell going across the top, and then B, C, D, E, and F are cells in the second row. Okay, so, and when we do insert these pictures, we have to include appropriate alternative text. So this is displayed if the picture is not visible. And then we need to add a style attribute into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. Okay, so that might be a little bit tricky, but let's go ahead and put the pictures in first. Okay, so the first picture is going to be in this cell here, and it's going to be ending in logo.jpg. So insert picture from file. Let's go down and select this picture here. We can include the alternative text logo, and it looks really big right now, so let's just go into the browser. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's not really fitting in the cell, is it? The cell is meant to be 80% of the window. So what I'm going to do is go to code, and inside of this image tag I'm going to include a style which will make it fit inside of the cell. So the width has to be equal to 100%. Okay, let me see if that makes any difference. Yes, it looks like it's now fitting to 100%. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the rest of the pictures in the second row. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do these 4 pictures really quickly. So if I go to design view, it may be difficult to see the cells. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to use the code. Yeah. So this is the second row. Okay, and the first 4 pictures we can insert quite easily. Actually, even the 5th one. So to insert the pictures, we need to delete what's in between these brackets first of all. And inside of these brackets we will be inserting the pictures, but I'll do the first 4 initially. I'll try to include alternative text as well. So that's the first one. Okay, looks like a picture of a house. I think I'll do the style in one go. Let's insert the second picture. This one here looks like a temple. Let's insert the third picture. Looks like the sea, I don't know, lake or sea. And let's insert the next picture. Looks like trees or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this tag here and I'm going to place it within all of the tags for all of these pictures. So this is where the image tag starts and this is where it ends. Okay, so I need to place it in between. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, and I'm going to insert the last picture as well, and then we can have a look to see how that looks. So the last picture is going to be of the jungle. So insert picture from file, the jungle, and let's see how this is going to look. And we also want to ensure this fits within the cell. Okay, let's go to the browser. Okay, something about that first picture doesn't look right to me because the aspect ratio's not being maintained. So let me just do that again. I'm not sure why that's not working properly. So let me just go back to design view. I don't like how that first picture looks. Let's just click inside the cell, delete it. And if I go back to the code view, let me just put this onto, so this is the first row and this is obviously the cell that's been merged. Okay, so I'm just going to press delete and let's insert that logo picture again. I don't know why it doesn't look right to me. Logo, and what I'm going to do is just try doing the style tag again. Okay, let me just see, fingers crossed, let's see. That looks better, yes. Sometimes, guys, I honestly don't know why. You think you've done it right the first time and it doesn't look right. Best thing is just delete it and do it again. Okay, if you think it doesn't look right, then no problem. Okay, so this is the browser at 100% right now. So if I make it smaller, the table should change to 80% of the window size, and you can see now the pictures fit within the cells. So I don't know if anyone can spot my mistake the first time round. Just drop it down in the comments. It'd be interesting to see what I did. Right, let me save the changes at this point and go to the question paper. So what we've done, actually, we've inserted pictures into using the HTML actually in between these tags. So this is the cell. Okay, so in here is where we can enter data for each cell. Okay, it could be a picture, it could be text, a video link. So it's up to you. And then this is the code for each image. Okay, we have the alternative text, we have the image source. Okay, so which includes a file name and a file type. Okay, yeah, we've done question 6, we've done question 7. And let's look at question 8. So G, H, I and J is the third row basically in the table. Yeah, the third row. And we need to place in a cell the text. Okay, so what I'm going to do is so this was the first row, this was the second row, this is the third row. Okay, if I go to design view, guys, it might look a little bit messed up in design view because of the picture sizes, but if I go to the code view, I'm going to insert the text here. And just before I insert the text, all of the text needs to be set to H2. So I'm going to do it in the code, guys. I'm just going to write H2, close this bracket, and then a bracket again, a backward slash, and close. I forgot to write H2. Oh, I've just realised I've got one there. Let me do that again, guys. I've just realised it was there. So if I type in H2, it's automatically closed the tag created a closing tag as well. Now I've got that tag, I'm going to enter the first text, so compact. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy and paste this into the other cells. And then what we'll do is we'll change the text. So this is for heading 2 style. So the first cell we had compact, then larger or larger. So this is the third row, and this is the second cell in the third row. This is now going to be going into the third row and the third cell. Okay, and let's have a look at the browser. Okay, so you can see we've got the text. Okay, so if I check G, H, I and J, it's the third row. G, H, I and J, yeah. So if you go to the browser, yep, it's looking good. Okay, so that's been changed to H2. Maybe once we attach the star sheet later, that might change to something else. Right, in cell K, the contents of the file. Okay, so we need to open up this text file. So K is going to be this cell here. So what we need to do in cell K, so K is in the last row and it's the first cell. So this is the last row, and is it the cell that's been merged across 3 cells? Yes. So I'm going to insert some text here, but before we do so, let's make the paragraph style. So P, and you can see the closing tag has been created with a backward slash. I'm going to go to the folder here, open up this text file, and I'm going to copy and paste this into here. Okay, so yeah, let's have a look at the browser now. Okay, yeah, looking good now, isn't it? Right, I think this has been a trickier paper, to be honest, so far. Okay, we've done that. And in cell L, which is next to K, what do we need to put in? This is probably the last one now. So we need this text here. Okay, last edited by, then on a new line below this, place your name, center number, candidate number, and on a new line below this, enter the text contact BHH. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this really quickly. Actually, before I'm sorry for the coughing, guys. Before I do anything, all of the text needs to be formatted to H3. So we're going to have 3 lines of text basically. It's going to be the last row and this cell here. Okay, so in this space here. So what I'm going to do first of all is create 3 tags for H3. That's the first tag. And then another H3 tag. I'm just going to do another line like this. Close. Sorry guys. Okay, so on the first line we need to, let's go get this text here, last edited by, in there, so we put that there. Okay, the second line, on a line below this, place your name, center number, candidate number. For center number I'll use 5, 6, 7, 8, for candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4. And below this, contact BHH. Let me save and see what we had. Sorry guys, I just have to get a bit of water then as well. Okay, so we got 3 lines, H3, yeah, looks good. Okay, so question 11. Create a hyperlink from text contact BHH to open the web. So we need to open up a new page in a new browser window called _blank. So we need to make a hyperlink. Okay, so let me just go to design view now. Let's see if we can see that text. Yes, we can. To create a hyperlink, you can right click, select hyperlink, and existing file or web page, and it's going to be linking to the page ending in contact. Okay, and it has to open up in a new browser window called _blank, so we can go to target frame. New window, done. Okay, you can see that link has been created, and if you go to the code, you can see the link is here as well, the hyperlink reference, and it should open up on a blank, blank window. Let me just save the changes. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to attach a style sheet for question 12. So ending in bhh.css. So let's attach the style sheet. So to attach the style sheet, let's go to design view. Let's get the panels up. So go to manage styles and then attach the style sheet. Yep, so if you go to the source folder, J2131 BHH, that's the one, and attach. And if we go into the browser, let's see if that makes any changes in the browser window. I think the text has changed color, perhaps. Okay, that's fine. Probably now we may need to look at the CSS, so let's keep going. So open and edit the style sheet to meet the following specifications. Okay. So let me go to File and Open. Where's the style sheet? Here it is. Okay, what do we need to do to the style sheet? Let me just have a quick look. Okay, so set the background for the web page so it has a color with a blue component of 36, red component of 21, and a green component of 2F. So remember it's RGB, so we need to do it in that order. So for the background, we need to create a body tag. Okay, so if we go back to expression, I'm going to see if we have one already. No, we don't, so we can create a new style. We can type in body, we can go to background, and just select any color for now. Okay, then we can put in the attributes. Okay, so for red it's 21. For green it's 2F. And blue 36. And we get this color here, that's fine. Okay, so that's done for the color. Set the background for the web page so the image that ends in BG is placed in only the top left corner of the window. So we need to find the picture first of all. So this is this one here ending in BG. Okay. We're going to say no repeat. And the background position, so X is the horizontal axis, Y is the vertical axis. Let's say, is it top left? So top. And let's see if this works, guys. So this should be in the top position, and if I select left on the horizontal axis, you can see it's gone to the top left. If I click on apply, let me go to the browser. Oh, let's just save the changes here. Go back to the browser, and you can see the logo's in the top left there. Okay, so we're not quite finished yet. Sorry guys, I'm just going to take a sip of water, and my throat is still not recovering. Okay, so that's that done. Okay, so we have a background color, a background picture. It's not repeated. The repeat would mean it's like a tiled effect on your floor. We just want it to appear at once, and in the left top or top left. Okay, so we have done this now. Set the font styles for H1, 2 and 3, and for the paragraph style. Okay, so that browser selects and displays. Let me just check first of all, do we have any font styles? No, we don't. Okay, let's go back. So the browser selects and displays the font San Francisco. If this is not available, the browser then displays the font Calibri. If none of these are available, then the browser displays its default sans serif font. So for H1 to paragraph, so what we can do is we can use the most efficient syntax. So we can go to new style, H1, H2, H3, P, and the first font style that we need to use is, if it's available, is San Francisco, comma, and if it's not available, then the browser selects and displays the font Calibri, which is more common probably. Okay, and if these two are not available, then the default sans serif font. So we can just type in sans serif and apply, and you can see we have used the most efficient syntax. We haven't repeated this code for the different styles. Okay, so we have now done this. I think almost at the end. Yes. Set the paragraph style so the text is fully justified with 12 points. So let me open up the paragraph style and double click or modify the style. So we've got P open and it's going to be 12 points. So not pixels, just change that to points. It's just a different measurement and it's fully justified. So if you go to block, text, justify, apply, and you can see it's changed here. Done. Right align all tables in the browser window. Okay, so what we need to do is I need to format the table now, don't we? So if we open up the table, modify, let me read the question again. Right align all tables in the browser window. Okay, so if I go to, I have to think about this, guys. Something to do with the margins now. Let me deselect this. If I go to here, write auto, just want to see what happens. Nope, that's not worked. So we need a table on this side, don't we? So let me change this, not margin right. Let's do the left automatic. See if that will move it across. Save a change here and go into the browser. Yes. So we have the picture in the top left. We now have the table which has been moved to the right hand side of the page. So sometimes you have to experiment and see what you can come up with. Okay. Add your name, center number and candidate number as a comment at the end of the style sheet. Okay. All color codes must be displayed in hexadecimal. Make sure your style sheet contains no HTML or scripting language. Save this style sheet into your BHH folder. Take a screenshot to show the file name and all of the contents of your style sheet. So first of all, let me add, I don't think I'm finished here actually, because remember, table borders must not appear in the final web page. Okay, so let me check the code. What do we have so far for table borders? I'm going to change that to 0 pixels. Because I did see the borders first, or last time I checked in the browser. Let me see now. Okay, let me just check one thing, guys. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this as well. I didn't change that one. Let me change that to 0 as well. Let me save. So TD is for the internal grid lines. So I've saved the changes now. So let me just go to the browser. Yes, that's what we wanted. Okay, so you can see there's no borders visible. So it's really important you guys do actually read all of the questions, because it would have been very easy to have missed that. So it's a good thing I highlighted that, and I have come back to that at the end. Okay, let me take add my name as a comment at the bottom of the code, and then we can screenshot it. So to add a comment, /star, what do we need to have? Name, center number, candidate number, so typical. So name and center number, I'll use 5678, candidate number 1234, and then star and slash to close the comment. So you can see the comment is like in a green. Okay, and I'm going to take a picture of this now, showing the file name and all of the code, and this is for evidence 2. There we go. Let me just copy this again, because we're bound to have another piece of evidence. Evidence 3, evidence 4. I'm just going to copy a few of these. Evidence 5. Okay, so that was evidence. Sorry, which? Yeah, so that was evidence 2. We replace the screenshot in the evidence document of the style sheet. Okay, now display your page in the browser. Make sure all the page can be seen, all the text can be read, the address bar is visible, the background image is visible, and then place in your evidence document screenshots showing a web page in your browser. Make sure the table contents and background elements are visible. So let's go to the browser. Just make it a little bit smaller so we. Oops. Okay, maybe you can take screenshots. So I'm gonna take a few different screenshots. Okay, there we go. I think if I just so that thing that will do. Let me close down all of these other. So it's very important, guys, when you do take this screenshot, you include the browser window. So this shows me that we're looking at it from the browser. Copy, and this is evidence 3. Okay, done. Okay, and now the final piece is take the HTML from the source and then take a copy of it and place this into evidence for evidence 4. So you literally have to go to your code now, and you have to highlight from the top and copy it all the way to the bottom. Okay, so copy. This is evidence 4, and paste this in. Okay, doesn't matter what size it is, don't change it. Do not copy and paste this thinking this is a HTML, because it's not, and you're not going to get any marks for this. So the HTML comes from your code view, and anything that you've been doing shows up in the HTML, and this is where most of your marks are going to come from. Okay, so we've done that now. Okay, and then finally we have to print off the evidence document. So let me save the changes. Let me go to print preview. Okay, let's go to the first page. Let's double check. So the first page, first evidence is of the folder showing all of our files. We created a new folder, then we moved some files into that folder. The second screenshot is your style sheet. You can see it's nice and clear. The third screenshot was the browser showing a website in full. The table's been moved to the right hand side. It's 80% of the window. There's a logo in the top left. All of the pictures are resized to fit to cells, and then you have your HTML code. So I think this was actually quite a tricky paper, and it's very easy to make mistakes if you're not reading the questions properly. Okay guys, thank you for your time. Please drop your comments below, like and share, and good luck in your exams. Thank you for your time again.